وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى خصوصا على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذرياته أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم. The glorious Quran is described as huda, guidance. Guidance means providing the information that will be good for us, benefit us, information and knowledge, that will show us the way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is hudan, guidance. It is also rahmah, kindness, the divine care and Allah's kindness. Okay? And it is also described as nur, the light. What kind of light is it compared to other lights? It is very much like the sun. Compare the sun with the brightest light that we can make, the floodlights in a football pitch, for example. Compare that brightness with the brightness of the sun, it's nothing. Or the brightness of a candle compared to the brightness of these LCD lights. You would say, or LED lights, you would say it's nothing. This is nur. The Quran is the light, but a dazzling light, a bright, shining light. And it requires, reading, it requires thought, which helps us to understand its meanings, then reflecting on it, so that how can I derive benefit from it? It has a side light. It's like a side light. What does a side light do in a car? Well, when you give a side light, it means you're turning your direction. You're going to go right or left, but you're going to leave this. The Quran gives those side lights. Lots of them. Every page, every verse gives us the opportunity to turn away from the wrong, from the weak, from the meager to the greater. Okay? I've recited, Surah Al-Ma'un, and just look at the brevity of this, yet the amount of information and guidance in it. أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ. Have you considered him who denies the judgment? Have you considered him who denies the judgment? That is the one who harshly pushes away the orphans and does not encourage the feeding of the poor, and ruins for those people who pray only to and are forgetful of their prayers, and they only do it to show off, and these people can't even be bothered to do the small kindnesses. So that's the whole surah I've translated for you, all its 7 short verses. أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ. This is a rhetorical question. Really, sometimes in rhetorical question just means, it's a question whose answer is very obvious. have you considered him, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the one who denies the judgment, the day of judgment, or just denies deen? Deen actually means justice. That is what will happen on the day of judgment. Justice will be done. Do you not see him? Do you not consider him? And some of the Mufassirin actually go on to tell who these people could be. You know, some people say this is As bin Wa'il, others say it's Abu Lab, who was actually the treasurer of the Kaaba, of Haram Sharif. He was the treasurer. You know, they had a committee and he was the treasurer of it. And well known for his miserliness, well known for his uncharitable attitude to everybody. And so, as though the Quran is saying, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ, you know the one who denies the don't you? Okay, that's the way it would be translated. So we're implying the answer. So I'm translating, you know the one who denies the day of judgment, don't you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You know him, you see him day in and day out. He's the one who pushes the orphans. And this, of course, is one of the worst kind of crime and moral, worst kind of moral vice you could do, to push away an orphan. Okay? Here is a child who is fatherless. Here is a child who has nobody to care for him. And rather than showing care and love for him, which is a natural instinct of human beings, animals even do that. Okay? It's well known in animal kingdoms. If an animal, becomes an orphan, other mothers in that herd or flock will take care of him, of that child. But here is a man, who pushes away the orphan. And this is why Rasulullah stressed the importance of supporting orphans. And this is why, Muslim Hands does a fantastic job with nearly 15,000 orphans world over. How many? Not 5, not 1 or 150 or 15,000. That is a accomplishment of its team, of its leader, Shah Sahab and its wonderful team, who are working so hard to do that work. But that comes from, the teachings like this, where the Prophet ﷺ is condemning those who ignore and don't take care of the needy. And then, وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَىٰ طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. His other problem is, he doesn't urge people, he doesn't motivate people, he doesn't goad people to give the indigent, the poor, the needy. And I hope you can see why, when we make an announcement here, help the needy, help the poor, and, our deen is also needy at this moment, Islam is also needy at this moment. It needs help to be able to produce resources in order to teach, and to give resources that are relevant to our time, to provide and train teachers, to provide those resources that will enrich our future generations, inshallah. وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَىٰ طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. He doesn't urge, he doesn't encourage the feeding of the orphans. So how many things is that? First, so the signs or the marks of the one who denies judgment and justice. First is that he's very rough with the orphans. Secondly, he's very uncharitable. Okay? He is very miserly. What else? The Quran then says, وَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Ruins. So, fa here is sababiyya, which means as a consequence of these behaviors, which behaviors? Of being miserly, of being rough with the orphans. As a consequence of that, وَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Even in his worship. Now, musallin means those who do salah. And we know the Arabs used to do the salah because Sayyidina Ismail and Ibrahim had taught them in رَبَّنَا إِنِّي أَسْكَنْتُ مِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِي بِوَادٍ غَيْرِ ذِي زَرْعٍ عِنْدَ بَيْتِكَ الْمُحَرَّمِ لِيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ فَجَعَلْ أَفْئِدَةً مِنَّ النَّاسِ تَهْوِي إِلَيْهِمْ. When Ibrahim settled his progeny Ismail in this city of Makkah, this is what he made. This is the prayer he did. Allah make them people who will pray, people who will do their prayer. And then incline people's hearts towards them, so people pay attention to them. So they used to do salah, not like exactly like we do it, but they used to do the prayer. Okay, the idea of sajda was there as well. Not these rakats, but they certainly had a form of doing the salah. The Quran calls it salah, their worship. And Allah says, so for these worshippers is ruins. Ya Allah, why? They're worshippers. Musallin, people who pray. Why are you saying that they are ruined? Because الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. They ignore their prayers. They ignore, sahun actually means they are forgetful or they are negligent of their prayers. They are negligent or they are ignoring their prayers. Meaning that even when he's standing in front of the Kaaba, when he's standing in that haram, even there, his mind is somewhere else. He's not there. He's not really doing it in the proper way as he ought to be doing. And this is really important for all of us to remember. When we pray, we need to focus. Focus means really khushu'. And this is what other religions call meditation or contemplation. The Islamic way of meditation and contemplation is salah. Why? And what is meditation? What is mindfulness? This is the modern sort of idea about mindfulness. It's really to take the mind off your issues, your worldly trappings, your work, the task you are doing now because it is stressing you. And the whole point of mindfulness is actually to take you away from that state of stress, distraction, being trapped and ensnared in it. That's what mindfulness is. It has to take the mind away from it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us one of the most beautiful ways of meditating, one of the most beautiful ways of paying attention to Him through salah. But sadly, we don't do it well. And this is why in the Quran when it talks about how to pray, it says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. The believers are successful, those who focus in their prayers, who pay attention to their prayers. Now this is interesting. هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Here it says, الَّذِينَ فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. Not that الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. No. That would be devastating. If Allah said that even in their prayers, they are neglectful. No. And that would be almost impossible for us to do because we're always distracted. But here it says they ignore their prayers. They don't do them on time, and they're not really bothered that they've done something wonderful. They really don't give it a toss. After they've done it, they're not bothered. If they don't do it, they're not bothered. It doesn't have any impact on them, really. That's what it means. And that's different from, in your salah, not focusing. الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ يُرَاءُونَ. The other thing they do is they just do it for showing off, to show off. And finally, this is 4 things which are the problems with these miserly and worthless people in the sight of Allah, people who are lost in their dunya. First one is that they push away the orphans. They don't care about the needy. And they are not bothered about their salah either. Okay? And they show off. They do things to please others, not their Lord. Okay? And this, as the Quran is saying, these are the 4 marks of those who are not people of Allah. They are not people of Akhirah either. They don't care about justice. They're not bothered about the rewards or otherwise. Okay? They're negligent people. And finally, الَّذِينَ هُمْ يُرَاءُونَ وَيَمْنَعُونَ الْمَاعُونَ. And they stop people from doing small kindnesses. Ma'ruf, I've translated as small kindnesses, as though it's a metaphor. Al-ma'un, the Mufassirin again translate this as utensils, kitchen utensils, you know, a knife, a cooking pot, or DIY stuff, you know, screwdriver, a hammer, a saw. They're not willing to share these with their neighbors. You know, they can't even share an axe with their neighbor. They can't share small things with one another. Or, as I said, you know, some say that they're not bothered to give zakah. You know, all those things that was mentioned before, you know, they're not bothered to do those things. وَيَمْنَعُونَ الْمَاعُونَ. You know, it's a very beautiful, powerful surah, you know, and makes us reflect that these are the 5 marks of people who don't believe in the day of judgment, who don't actually believe in justice, who don't believe that their works have their deeds and works and actions lead to consequences. And what is that? Well, that is stupidity, because every action has a result. You know, that's a well-known scientific law, actually. We call it Newton's first law. To every action, there is a reaction. That is a given, you know. Whenever you do something, there's going to be a consequence. But these foolish people don't care about that. What their deeds are going to, what consequence they're going to have, but it is all actually to do with the hereafter. And that is what they are negligent of. So here I hope you can see, you know, the Quran is constantly reminding us, you know, about the behaviors and the hallmarks of those people, you know, who in the sight of Allah are denying the day of judgment. And we need to ask ourselves, you know, do we have any of these 5 characteristics in ourselves? You know, and we need to look at that. How careful are we about our salah? How careful are we with lending things, giving things? How generous are we, you know, with the wealth that Allah has given us? Or do we want to just keep it for ourselves? Because, you know, this is really a big test. Can we sacrifice what we need for ourselves? Can we sacrifice that and give it to another person? That requires a huge amount of selflessness. That requires a huge amount of generosity. And it can only happen, you know, if you have that belief in Allah, if you have that belief in Yawmiddin and in the Malik Yawmiddin, in the Master of the Day of Judgment. You know, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to reflect. I hope you can see how short this surah is, but isn't there a lot to think about? Do we do that? You know, but how long will it take you? You know, if you had a good translation, it'll take you about 40, 50 seconds to read, eh? But then you can spend so much time reflecting, and that is what we need to do. In my translation, I'm trying to put a sidelight on each page to remind people, what direction is this prompting you to go into? You know, which indicator have you given, right or left? You know, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us all to be on the straight path. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillah.